Can you guess what the men in Mauritania look for in the girl they want to marry? Well, in other countries, men might look at their facial features, height, eye color, or perhaps their wealth. But in Mauritania, it's different. Because here, men want to marry the most chubby woman they can find. The chubbier she is, the more a man is attracted to her, and there are better chances for her to find a suitable husband. If the woman is tall and exceptionally obese at the same time, there will be a line of potential husbands outside her parents' home, asking for her hand in the marriage. But making their daughters obese is not easy for parents in Mauritania. So, how are girls in Mauritania made to eat more and get obese, and how are they considered beautiful? Welcome to a new episode of Black African Diary, a channel where we talk about Black African history, culture, arts, and civilization. It's a place where you will see the real picture of Black Africa, its stories, and the events defining it. In this episode, we will tell you about the unique custom where women are made obese by feeding many times a day. Let's get started. The practice of induced feeding of girls in Mauritania is called lablu. Initially, the girls are made to eat more. However, later, they understand the cultural expectation, and the practice no longer requires compelling. Often, this practice starts when girls are as young as 5 and continues into their teenage years. The only purpose is to achieve obesity, which is traditionally seen as a sign of wealth and desirability in certain societies. Deeply rooted in Tuareg tradition, lablu is especially prevalent in rural areas and aims to increase the girls' chances of marriage by making them appear more attractive and prosperous. In Mauritania, a West African country situated between Western Sahara and Senegal, being thin is not considered beautiful. Skinny women are viewed as poor and unable to afford food, while obesity is seen as a marker of wealth and beauty. The practice dates back to the 11th century and has seen a resurgence in Mauritania, especially after a military junta took control of the country in 2008. Despite its long history, the practice is increasingly viewed with disapproval, particularly among younger generations in Mauritania. But despite this, they have to follow, because obesity is a beauty standard. The process of lablu involves older women, known as fatteners, who make young girls to consume excessive amounts of food and liquid. For girls to find husbands in Mauritania, they have to be obese. They are often fed large quantities of camel milk, breadcrumbs soaked in olive oil, and goat meat, a practice called gavage. On average, a 6-year-old girl might be made to drink up to 20 liters of camel's milk and consume 2 kilograms of pounded millet mixed with butter each day. This seems impossible, but in Mauritania, it's a routine. The practice of lablu can involve a grueling process that lasts several months. During this time, Mauritanian girls are made to consume vast quantities of milk, couscous, peanut oil, and pure animal fat daily. It's reported that girls undergoing lablu can consume 4 times the daily caloric intake of an adult male bodybuilder, reaching an average of 14,000 to 16,000 calories per day, while the recommended intake for a healthy 12-year-old girl is around 1,500 calories. Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black Africa. Let's continue now. Girls as young as 6 or 7 are often subjected to this diet routine. That's because families in these regions are motivated by the belief that a well-fed daughter is more likely to attract wealthy suitors. The exact origins of making women obese in Mauritania are difficult to trace, but some historians believe the practice dates back centuries to a time when most Mauritanians were nomads. In this nomadic society, obesity was considered a sign of beauty, particularly in women, and the wives of wealthy men often lived sedentary lives in tents, while enslaved Black Africans performed the hard labor required in the desert. Historically and culturally, physical appearance, especially a fuller figure, was directly associated with social status and wealth. In many traditional societies, being overweight was seen as a sign that a woman's family had the means to provide ample food, indicating their affluence. This belief was especially prevalent in nomadic and rural communities, where food was often scarce. A larger body size, therefore, was not only a symbol of wealth, but also a sign that a woman was well cared for and healthy. In cultures where lablu is practiced, a woman's role is often closely linked to her ability to secure a good marriage. A woman's worth is frequently measured by her marriage prospects, which are influenced by her physical appearance. Force-feeding young girls is seen as a way to prepare them for marriage by helping them conform to cultural standards of beauty. The goal is to make them more appealing to potential suitors, who often associate a larger body size with prosperity and fertility. Interestingly, a fuller figure in these communities is not only a symbol of wealth, but also a marker of fertility. A woman with a larger body is often believed to be more capable of bearing children, which is a highly valued attribute in many traditional societies. The pressure to conform to these beauty and fertility standards leads families to enforce practices like lablu, believing that it is in their daughter's best interest to be seen as attractive and capable of securing a favorable marriage. The practice of force-feeding is also deeply rooted in tradition. In societies where cultural practices and beliefs are passed down through generations, lablu is viewed as a necessary rite of passage for young girls. Older women, often referred to as fatteners, play a crucial role in perpetuating this tradition. They are responsible for ensuring that the girls consume large quantities of food and liquids to achieve the desired body size. This continuation of tradition is so ingrained in the societal fabric that it becomes difficult to challenge or change. However, the biggest reason why this practice persists is because many Mauritanian men prefer women with larger body sizes, associating these traits with beauty, femininity, and tenderness. In Mauritania, the ideal of female beauty is closely linked to body size. Unlike in many Western societies, where thinness is often celebrated, Mauritanians traditionally view a fuller, more voluptuous figure as the pinnacle of feminine beauty. This preference is not just superficial. It is woven into the cultural fabric of the country, where a larger body size is seen as a symbol of wealth, prosperity, and health. For many Mauritanian men, a woman's weight is directly tied to her attractiveness. A fuller figure is perceived as more tender, soft, and feminine, qualities that are highly valued in a wife. This preference for larger body sizes is openly discussed and widely accepted. In this context, being fat is not only seen as a physical attribute, but also as a marker of a woman's worth and desirability. Therefore, men play a significant role in maintaining the practice of lablu because their preferences shape cultural standards of beauty. In a society where marriage is a key milestone in a woman's life, being considered attractive is crucial for securing a good match. Many women and their families feel compelled to conform to these beauty standards, believing that fattening their daughters will improve their chances of marrying well. This male preference for larger women places immense pressure on young girls and their families to adhere to the practice of force-feeding. Mothers in particular often feel they have no choice but to subject their daughters to lablu to ensure their future. The belief is that if a girl is not fattened, she may struggle to find a husband, and by extension, her prospects for a stable and prosperous life could be jeopardized. It's important to understand that these preferences and practices are deeply rooted in Mauritanian culture and should not be hastily judged. Just as Western societies often idealize thinness and see it as a standard of beauty, leading to extreme behaviors like dieting and plastic surgery, Mauritanian men's preference for fuller figures is considered normal and desirable within their cultural context. Cultural standards of beauty vary widely across the world, and what is seen as attractive in one culture may be viewed very differently in another. What do you think? Does obesity add a layer of beauty to women that men cannot resist? Or is beauty subjective and depends on the region, because in some areas, fat women are considered ugly? In the comment section right below, let us know whether you would like to visit Mauritania and meet these women who only have a single task before their marriage: to eat as much as they can. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We bring videos on Black Africa, its history, rich arts and culture, and things the world should know about. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.